So I want to ask folks to bring them up to the board members here so that she's read off who we're talking to, and let's dive in.
Sure, but I don't know, you don't have to really.
We're live and ready when you're ready.
Okay, Justin, I don't have to bring this to order, correct?
Yes, you do.
I do?
Yep.
Oh. Okay, well, good evening, everyone. I call this Board of Education first listening session to order. If you have your pink slips, please, if you can bring them to me, just so it'd be faster for me to go through.
Yeah, I do a point of order.
Sure.
My point of order is may we suspend the rules. This is a listening session, not a board session. According to the statute, there's nothing that says a listening session that the board cannot answer back. But for the process of formality, I would ask that the rules be suspended for this listening session.
That motion?
That is a motion.
Okay. Second. Okay, I'm gonna second from Michelle. Any discussion about that? Is there anybody else have pink slips?
There's one gets me less.
Do I need to?
I heard that.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask maybe a question clarification.
Yep.
So do you see this as more of a discussion, or how do you see this? We have literally
I see.
pink slips here, so.
I see this as a discussion where we have broad themes or we answer questions that generally go through with what people want to, as a discussion is back and forth.
Sabian?
As we engage in discussion, I want to remind board members about our role and keeping that in mind about our role also the principals and so on and so forth. So
I appreciate it.
we can go forward.
Any other discussion? Okay, I guess all those in favor of suspending the rules and allowing us to speak. Did you say yes or no? And because we got it. Okay, well then,
5-2.
yeah, it's 5-2.
One abstention.
Actually, no, sorry, it's 6-0-1. Okay, so we have 4 folks. I would say everyone will have 3 minutes to speak. When I call your name up, you may go ahead and speak. If you would like to come up, you can, otherwise you can speak, but just speak loud enough so the folks that are on the Zoom can hear you. If board members have questions, we can definitely ask questions and respond if they'd like. Okay, first person, Kevin Attaway.
You want me to stand or?
You can stand so they can see you, or
Sure.
you can speak.
I'm Kevin Adway. I am a social studies teacher here at East High School, I'm also a department chair. And I am senior faculty rep for MTI. I'm going to keep this short and sweet, just like me. We, as teachers across the district and chairs of the district, we have great concerns about the allocation formulas being used by the school board downtown. Across the district, we are facing cuts in every department from anywhere from a half of a teacher to 2 teachers to 5 in special ed. And we realize that we have declining population of students, but we also have large class sizes already this school year. We have class sizes in my department anywhere from 24 to 32. And we're being asked to have limits of 32 per classroom in our core subjects, 40 in music, the arts, applied ed, industrial arts. West is being asked for 34 per student in the core classes and electives, and God knows what's going to be in the applied ed departments. So we just are curious what the formula is being used, why the cuts are so severe when we are dealing with learning gaps with our students due to the pandemic, and how this gets rectified. How do we teach? How do students learn when we have such large classes and smaller numbers of staff members? We could understand if we had cuts in staff and then maintain the sizes we have this year. That would be somewhat sustainable. But to increase the class sizes and cut staff at the same time, we do not see how this is sustainable. So we're just curious if you are aware of the formula being used, and if that could be shared out to the general public and to our staff members. And this by no means is a complaint about any of our principals. I feel for them. They're given a workbook that they have to deal with the formulas. And I feel their pain.
Thank you.
I can start with the special ed issue first. It is against federal law to cut special education, and to do so in that manner could bring us into non-compliance with both IDEA and failure to provide a free appropriate book education. As an attorney, I'm comfortable saying both of those. I have not seen the workbooks. I asked to see the workbooks before they went out. It was not feasible. So I have not seen the workbooks. Therefore, I cannot answer your question on which allocation formula was used. What I can say is on special ed, the other part that I could say is that this has happened every year I've been on the board, where we don't see the workbooks till after and then have to play catch up. That is an individual decision by the administration. And we do the best we can, but it is the principal's job to do the allocation. Less than the board's job. And so the board only gets some information. We don't see it right away. So I wish I could be of more help, but the one I can say is special ed would not be appropriate.
Thank you, Nikki. Another board members.
Yes, I would also just concur with my board colleague. We don't necessarily see the workbooks or necessarily know the formula. What we know is the class size policy, right? And so I'm looking at my phone just because I'm directly looking at the policy. In grades 9 through 12, as you probably know the policy, we have a maximum size of 30 in a AGR, non-AGR class. Optimum size is supposed to be 28. So some of the numbers that you reported to sound like they exceed that. And then in the special subjects, which I'm assuming might be the art and the bi-ed, can be up to 40. That's per our policy. I do know in the last presentation that we had in our instruction work group where we talked about class size, I think one of the comments that one of our board members made was looking at the classes that are over the maximum and trying to figure out like how we can, or how schools rather can better figure out like the allocation and how to have the appropriate number of sections to minimize that. But unfortunately, I can't speak with direct knowledge of how that whole process happens, you know what I mean, at the principal level. So it is something that I can continue to ask for. I can't speak for the whole board.
Thank you, Michelle. And second.
Yeah, some data points that we're looking at as a board is since 1920 school year. So since COVID school year, our enrollment has dropped by around 1,600 students from 26,900 to, or I'm sorry, 26,900 to 25,244. Our general strategy has been to hold off on making some of these staffing reductions until this year. Obviously, that does not account for vacancies. So some of the positions that were allocated but not filled. This year, we have across the district eliminated around 27 teaching positions across the district. Now, as the workbooks go out and as FTE are allocated, that's something that we'll continue to take in. As board member Nichols brought up, you know, while those things are high and we have to get as many vacancies filled as possible, we can look at adjusting class size policy moving forward.
Any other board members want to respond or?
Yes.
Go ahead, Lauren.
I'll just say, I want to thank you for bringing this up and bringing this to our attention because we don't immediately see those ratios, and that is really concerning to me to hear that we're going beyond the limits that you've set. I already think that they're really high. I know what it's like to try to negotiate in a classroom with a lot of little bodies, which
We deal with the bigger body.
you deal with the bigger bodies. I've dealt with the little bodies, and I just know how complex that is. And so I know that I want to go back to our team and look at if the formula has changed and if the number, how that's been calculated for this upcoming year. So thank you.
I mean, I would just,
I was just gonna say that one of the tools that the board does have and has had in the past in the budget book has been an equity staffing chart that it takes a look at each school, both, you know, all the elementary schools, middle school, high school, and it gives some more information on the allocation amounts, and I have used that.
okay, so I've just gotten a couple more folks in. So we had before only 4 folks signed up, but now we have 6. And so if we can just make sure to have like maybe like 3, no more than 3 comments for each person, I think that would be great.
Just
Can we just make sure we speak really loud so everyone can hear us
Okay.
online? Thank
Thank
you.
you. So I said that we just got 3 more people. Sorry, I'm wearing a mask. So what we're gonna do is just make sure that have only a couple comments from the board in response to folks, if they would like to respond. Okay, Cynthia Larson.
First of all, this is nothing I hate more than you can speak in public, so I'm very nervous. Okay. My name is Cynthia Larson. I was a I worked full-time with MMSD for 11 years as a special education aide. And I've been a sub-SBA since my retirement 4 years ago. I'm here to speak on behalf of myself and fellow sub-SBAs. My concern is that the district's disregard and lack of acknowledgement of the sub-SBA staff. By not including them in sub-SBA's recent district raise and blocking our rights to vote for union certification. Both of which sends a clear message that sub-SBAs are not valued by MMSD staff as MMSD staff members. And then I ask why? Why are we excluded from the raise and being blocked from voting? We are in the same bargaining unit as regular SBAs and clerical staff. We have always received raises with regular SBAs. Our job is the same as regular SBAs and actually more challenging since we need to adapt to the students that we are assigned to on the spot. We have to think on our feet and adapt right away. We need to know curriculum from grades 4K to grade 12. We need to provide personal hygiene to manage medically fragile students. When we support special needs students, we are supporting teachers so that they can do their job teaching as well, which kind of goes hand in hand with what you're saying with allocation. And I'm very devoted to helping teachers. If I have any downtime, I don't sit there. I start saying, can I make copies for cut things off for you? Yeah. What is rather outrageous is that you will pay sub teachers substantially more than the sub SBA for the same work. More often than not, more sub SBAs know the work better because this is what they've been trained for. And they've had the training and work and like myself, having 14 years plus Madison schools, plus 8 in the board school district, plus having, we're a well-educated group, 19 out of 10. We have our minimum 2 years of education. Plus for myself, I have college credits that go way beyond that. 2-year degree. And I have worked with SEAs and these are SEAs that are working on their masters. They are, I've met a couple that are working on their PhD. So we are generally a very well-educated and also bilingual group as well. But you're willing to pay teachers more than for the SEA. There's also new hires that I met an SEA when I was studying this, and she was hired and she walked in the door and 2 months later, she got a $5 an hour raise. And she's making more than I am in this school year. Is my time up?
That's 3 minutes.
If you got a few.
Okay.
Couple
Some
last off.
SEAs were training at the beginning of the year without any compensation. So do you not need SEAs? Are you aware that how many SEA positions remain open daily? And is it okay for special ed students to be, walking around the classroom or pulling staff from another place so that so that they won't be able to do their job, but they have to take over and create that? I request that you do give the SEAs a $5 an hour raise and reinstate our voting rights for recertification.
Questions?
What I can say is very simply, 1, I didn't know this. 2, I'm quite worried that the district would be able to block anyone's right to vote. I have no knowledge of that, and I'm not sure, frankly, if that's a handbook issue, if that's a bylaw issue. This is the issue I need to be more educated on to answer your question appropriately. So I shall do research on it, so that way I can give you an adequate answer. I don't think I can give one at this time.
And I'm sorry to go over my time, but that's another issue is that we do not have a decent handle for sub-SEAs. So
That's good to know, and I appreciate the information. And can you write your email down so I can?
and I appreciate your acknowledgement. I feel so unappreciated. Thank you. Sorry.
No.
Sorry, just for that.
I will also say, as a mother of a child who has an IEP and SBA has been a saving grace for him for many years, and I have such a great relationship with his SBAs. Your feelings are not falling on deaf ears at all. I'm also in the same vein as Lydia, was not aware about the voting rights. And so that's something that I would have to look into. I think probably a lot of us may have to. I appreciate you for bringing it up.
I'm very grateful to Ken. I'm sorry to keep us listening, but it's a big know about this. And you guys are thank you so much.
Well, I'm just wondering if the voting rights thing, I don't think that's something that the district is in charge of. I think that's something that MTI is in charge of, at least I know.
FTI told me I was trying to vote during the certification, and I went to talk to Andy about this race thing, and Andy Rady, and I told him I'm trying to vote. Can you tell me something's wrong? I thought maybe I'm forgetting my social security number or something. And he said, no, the district is not letting us vote.
It's not an agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll look into that. Any other comments or questions? Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is Cooper Smith.
Hello, my name is Cooper Smith, and I'm a senior here at high school. I'm speaking to you today in regards to my experience as a high school student participating in fine arts. Throughout my time at East, I've been a member of all 3 orchestras: jazz band, show band, Eastside Players, cyber, and concert choir. For me, these programs excite me to go to school every morning. However, my 4 years in fine arts classes and extracurriculars at East have also been followed with the constant threat and worries of budget cuts alongside the district and board, who seem to seriously undervalue these programs and their positive impact. As college is on the horizon, many of my peers and I have considered doing a career in education or music education. But the majority have either given up pursuing such a career or make sure not to do so. During Board President Wilbur's speech at the recent State of the District address, stated how the board and district's commitment to unify our community was greatly represented in our renovated Margaret Williams Theater. However, in order for the board and district to host such an event, the Eastside players were not allowed to use their own theaters to rehearse for the winter play, which was debuting in 2 days. Instead, students had to miss instructional time in order to rehearse and were verbally disrespected by multiple district employees the day of the event. Going to East High School, I often engage with students at other schools or even my peers surrounding East reputation and public perception. And occasionally ask the question, are you ever embarrassed to go to East High School? My answer is, of course, no. I'm only embarrassed that our fine arts programs are undervalued by both the board and our district. Thank you for your time.
Like, Cooper, I just want to say thank you, first of all, for coming as a student. Secondly, I'm sorry that you've had that experience. And I really appreciate you coming forward today to just be another reminder of like the power of arts and artistic expression and how you have found like that as a motivation to want to be in school and to want to even think about a future in music education. And I hope that you feel like you have trusted adults, educators in the school that you can also go to when you're experiencing anything like you just experienced. I mean, bringing it here is also great, but do you feel like you have that here at school?
Absolutely, and the things I've mentioned, there have been other students who had engaged in conversations with East Admin, Ariana, East Admin,
Okay.
other people. Yeah, there's definitely trusted adults, and it's more so what I've seen, trusted music teachers and trusted adult experience. Just throughout my time in MMSD, that has kind of led me to speak today, because I just think like so many of the music classes, so many of the art classes are so important to East NYC, you know, whether it be like teachers disrespected or just feeling overall, whether they feel undervalued, that's kind of what led me to speak today. So, but yeah, I definitely, to actually answer your question, I definitely do have trusted adults, and the trusted adults I do have that I do have at East are more so and motivated me.
So I would say thank you for speaking, Cooper. Fellow artist, so I understand. And again, it takes a lot for students to be able to come in this space with a lot of adults and share their thoughts candidly. So awesome, thank you, like seriously. Ariana and Nathan.
Hello, important school board people and others. My name is Ariana Nathan. I'm 15 years old and I'm a sophomore. I'm a disabled student here at East High School. And today I would like to scratch the surface of my very long list of accessibility issues with East as well as the district. I'm going to be able to touch on a few right now, so buckle up. In the past, when I brought these issues up to district, they've been brushed off as no big deal. With that in mind, I'd like you to imagine a typical teenager's responsibilities in a typical day at school, such as, are they ready for their test? Will I get a good ACT score? Damn, that homework was really easy. God, I missed the bell and because I was busy talking to my friends, now I don't know what to do. Now I'm gonna be late. Dude, I learned all my lines last night. I drove a mile in gym class. I hope the lunch line isn't too long. Did I study hard enough? Just to name a few. Now, here is what happens in a typical teenager's and a disabled teenager's responsibilities at school. I really hope that my teacher gives me accommodations for my test. Is the elevator working? Because if it's not, then I'm going to miss my classes, and that'll be the second time this week, and I'm already very behind. Crap, I have an IEP meeting today, and I hate having to fight for my basic needs. I hope that the accessible bathroom is open, because yesterday there were people smoking in it, and so I had to walk all the way down to the nurse, and I was late to class just because I had to pee. oh no, there's a code red drill. And there's no set plan in place for disabled students. Because if my class were to decide to evacuate and we're on the second floor, I would be left in the room with just hopes that I survive. Most of these things have such an easy fix, such as keeping up with elevator maintenance, working on accessible evacuation plans for all possible situations, having the elevator passes be the key to accessible bathrooms, so the only ones that truly need them can use them. And of course, the most obvious but overlooked is going through every single IEP point by point and making sure that it's followed. Once again, these are just a few of the things that came to my mind as I was writing this from my bed while trying to recover from my school day in 9 out of 10 pain because I was forced to take the stairs and passed out several times throughout the day. Now, trust me, I've heard every single excuse in the district's book as to why me and my friends have to deal with this. But regardless, the reason is not okay and it needs to be corrected and changed immediately. Thank you.
Ending for a reason, and that's because I had,
It's not-
the reason I am standing is because I had 12 years of PT to be able to do this. And it took me, till I was 18 to be able to write this big. No child needs to have to advocate for their basic needs on elevators. No child should have to fight to get a handicap bathroom pass. This isn't something that needs to be determined. I thank you for bringing up the fire drill. My first year on the board, I asked the head of security, who's no longer here, about accessible building plans during fire drills for the disabled. And I was told point blank, we need to focus on the regular students before we can consider the disabled. To my face. I will never forget that as long as I live. I didn't turn into an alien overnight, neither did you. You deserve dignity, you deserve respect, and I give you credit for having the guts to say things at 15, there's no way else. And I can't order, I can ask, but I have a duty, and I apologize for tearing up. I cannot get emotional. That is not something that is in me. Same point. I know what it's like to have to make sure that the school's accessible. I know what it's like to have to argue if you're going to be safe in gym. I know what it's like to have to be nearly killed in middle school because you're in gym and 3 people want to hear. Our words are going to bounce. And so they try to throw you down a free flag. Steroids. And I thought we would pass those days. Clearly, you have woken me up to the fact that we're further behind than I ever thought. And then for that, I can't make excuses, but I can apologize.
And the thing that Cooper brought up with what the superintendent was addressing, when we got the issue with the computer, I ended up having a mental episode and was left by 30 minutes there. Conscious for unconscious for 30 seconds. Typing or also making sure that was okay. And then they walk away. But
Having curves. Okay, if I apologize for the pronunciation of this name. Is it Dielselena? Perez, yes. Are you having a translator? Okay.
Tarde, yo me encuentro Katrina y antes que nada yo quiero darle las gracias por estar aquí para escucharnos. Good afternoon, good evening. I mean, first of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity here and listening. Recientemente escuché que al superintendente que ahora se va a retirar. I recently heard that the current superintendent is retiring. Y a mí me gustaría saber cómo es que eligen al sucesor de él o de ella. And I want to know how you guys pick this person.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we can wait on. Oh, yeah, I can tell you, a little bit about the process. Basically, the board, needs to decide the steps of, looking to, we're looking right now if we're going to be working with a search committee, and first we would leave the proposal. Work with a search firm that helps districts, find different. Once we do that, they will do some community outreach, with the community, with staff, with the board to, how do we say that? Hear what's important. Hear what's important in the next leader of the district. And then help us create a profile and list the position. And then they would post the position, and people would apply, and we would go through the interview process. That answer your question?
Pues sí, porque, bueno, a mí me gustaría que nos tomaran en cuenta a todos para elegir. I would like everybody to be considered in that search process and selection process.
So like the community, making sure that the community is heard. Yes, we will definitely make sure that there are spaces for the community to be able to let us know how they want the next person. Thank you. Next person, Christina Mora.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm Christina Mora. I have a license to teach for my school for and I have teaching a license, but I work as a custodian. And I take pride with what I do as a custodian. So all the East High School teachers, the classrooms are not clean properly. It is beyond. We are only one person to do one in each floor. First floor, there's only one custodian. Second floor, only one custodian. Only one custodian. How many classrooms are in each floor? You guys know one. I didn't prepare anything because what I have to say right now is engraved in my mind and in my heart for a long, long time. I have never been disappointed. I have never been discouraged to come to work. I have never been let down by the building services until the last year. The shortage of custodians is just ridiculously ridiculous. I feel bad for the students that come here. They deserve to be in a classroom conducive to learning.
Thank you.
After the students that cannot pick up their math. Because why? I don't know why we don't have to do that. Why we didn't get a $5 raise? Maybe if we get a $5 raise. $19 a cashier. I do not know. I hope you guys will have really. I hope you guys will have listening ears, your ears are not plugged right now to hear what I have to say because this is too much. I am working 2 full-time jobs to support a single mom to support my boys. I have to do it. I work 7 to 3 and 4 to midnight here. And I do it anyways. But when we come here, we're supposed to be cleaning just one more area, man. So we snap it up. But if you're doing 2 areas in a night, for like an hour, it's taking away my time, our time from our area. There are 2 areas, and we have setups for 6 volleyball poles. 16 hours, 8 hours. Right now, we have 1 person working third shift. We have 1 person working first. We have 1 person working second. We have 1 person working third. We have 2 people missing during the day. That's a total of 6 custodians, and this has been going on for a long time. The teachers, I don't know. I don't know why the teachers. The teachers are easily very good. They don't complain. They're just happy that at least the trash has been collected. But man, I cannot. When I pick up the trash, I don't even want to look back because I feel so bad that I'm leaving the classroom not 12. Barely we have the time to check if there's paper towel in the science lab or in the restroom. I am so passionate with this. I am really passionate about it because something has got to give or something has got to change. And if nobody will speak up, I wish the building services people are here right now so they can hear my frustration. Because they know me as a very, like, I don't talk much. I just sit. I don't complain. But man, right now I feel like I'm a different person right now. I'm in a different dimension that I have to speak up. I really, really hope building services is listening right now because we have never been this short. We've always been short for 15 years, but we've never been this short until the last recent years. It's ridiculous. And they told me that, well, it's not only East that is short, that's even worse because it's been going on everywhere in all schools. We've been short. That's what I was told. It's not only East that is short now. That's even worse. If every single high school schools are short like this, these custodians, I don't know. I don't know what, I feel really bad for the kids, really. I told my son, do not sit on the toilet unless you put paper towel on it. Because not all custodians are able to survive that day. On the carpet because not all custodians are able to vacuum them. I told my son that, but I really taught my boys to say thank you to every custodian that they see in the building because we work too hard. We work more than what we are asked for. Every single day, you don't have to look far. Just it's high school. The teachers can tell you how bad the classrooms are. And I can't imagine. I am so embarrassed to be standing here right now telling you guys that the classroom, we leave the classroom unswept because that's why we're being told, trash and just collect the trash and walk away. How bad is that? I cannot imagine how the kids classroom clean, conducive to learning and teaching. How can a teacher perform very well if they're like, oh well, I guess this is our classroom today. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm begging you guys. Pay attention to this. We're just custodians, but you take pride in what I have a license to teach. I said, can I be a teacher and be a part-time custodian? Oh no, Tina, you have to be being a custodian first before we even consider you for the application for teacher. Seriously? I started standard with teachers and I have to speak in the custodian first before I can even solve. What do I do? I have to seek employment to other places. Some school districts substitute teachers earn 165 when I can get earned $200 somewhere else as a substitute teacher. And that's the real truth. 165 until now. Really? Seriously? That's all I have to say. I'm sorry.
I just say,
Yes.
thank you. I will tell you that we do get a weekly HR report that shows us vacancies by school in all the categories, teachers, SDAs, custodians. And I've seen the custodian number,
They don't post.
it has stayed,
they don't
kind of in the
post
double
our-
digits
They don't
pretty
post
much
our openings.
all year.
They don't
And I
post-
haven't-
you
I
need
haven't known-
9, you need 6 custodians. You
Yeah.
need 6. You only had 5 last year. You
Okay,
need 7, you need 8 on these. You only have sometimes 4, sometimes we had 2. It's been going on forever.
yeah,
Since the new people got here, you guys are new to us.
yeah.
Don't serve people out here.
So what I want, the reason I just wanted to share that is to say that I haven't known what a root cause might be for why we're
Because
short.
you're determined to do what they
Custodians.
want to do, and that's what the thing. It's not that you're determined. Yeah, all new. How many people are there getting? They knew this last year. If they came in, everything will change. They keep on hiring salary which earns at least 83,000 a year, which is higher than what a first year teacher earns, or maybe 5 years of teacher. How many buildings there? How many buildings are there? They only need 4. Get 5. But never get no answer down there. Or can you no answer downtown either? It's like stuck in the middle.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, because it's you've given a face and a voice and like the real story,
But we've been
your
here 15 years
experience.
in the district, so we've seen it all.
So thank you, and
2 long years, this is the worst job ever for the workers.
I'm so sorry. Thank
I
you.
can handle it because I need mine, but something got to change in building, so for people to start going other places.
I appreciate that. We're gonna go on to Connie Gibbs. Right.
My name Connie Gibbs, I work, I do custodian. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this school is dirty. It's so filthy where I'm sinking other jobs because I got asthma, I'm sneezing when I go into the room. The bathroom just disgusts me. And I look around the school, is what is like 480 some square feet. I come in here and there's only 3 custodians. I'm looking like, really? All this room is only 3 people. And I feel like if we gonna do 2 and 3 jobs, we need to get time and a half when we doing another job, somebody else's job. I just left the 3rd floor. They told me to just trash. I couldn't even look back at that trash because I could take you up there right now. I went up there and the lady told me, thank you. I said, thank you for what? She said, for sweeping my floor. I said, what? I said, they told me just to trash. I couldn't even, some of the rooms, I didn't even want to look back at. It's filthy. And if my kids were still in school, they wouldn't go here because it's terrible. They know it seems like they not hiring for the custodian. And more I talk to people at the service, they hire 3 people, right? They supposed to come over here. They put them somewhere else. When someone calls in, they got a sub to have somebody come over here, nobody comes. So it'll be 3 people here with almost 500 square feet. It's just ridiculous, man. It really is. And I don't even know why we didn't get no raise. Even the teachers speak up for.
I really appreciate you giving our, excuse me, I really appreciate your voice. However, we still have other people that have registered to speak and have 3 minutes. If you would like to register to speak,
Okay, go tell Bubba anyway.
thank you so much.
You got seats for me.
So what I was just saying, school is filthy. We need some more custodian and more money. And if we gonna do extra work, if we gonna do extra work, we should get paid. Well, my main concern, just hire more people and give us a $5 raise, $4 raise. That's all, and I wanna let you know your hair is pretty.
Next speaker, Augustina Perez or Augustina.
Those are a little bit louder, so I can hear you.
Freshman and first grader and.
Hi.
I have been there before. First is the losing teachers. We are losing a lot of good teachers. I've heard because private schools are being way better than Madison. I don't want to lose any more good teachers. I really don't. My second question is the fights. Too many fights. I'm tired of being so many fights. And then the third one is, how come our students, both elementary and middle schools, aren't getting air conditioning? There is no AC in those classes. My freshman went to Senate Middle School. I went to Senate Middle School. It is hot in there. I don't know if you guys been in there. It is hot. My little one was in a good school. They're now moving to Frank Dallas. No AC at Frank Dallas. I don't know if you guys been to Frank Dallas. So please, give the teachers raise, because otherwise they're gonna leave us. We're gonna end up with no teachers. Private schools are paying more. That's where they're going. Give them the raise. Make them happy, so our kids can be happy, so they won't at least fight every time, because I bet you that some of these students are fighting because they're not getting the education they need. Give them the AC. Elementary, middle school, they deserve. The people who work in our schools, who educate our kids, they need to have a good working environment. Because believe me, I know I wouldn't sit in a room 8 hours a day teaching kids, sweating my butt off, because I was a student at Senate. And believe me, it gets hot. So I don't know, I asked and it said, no, they can't get AC because maybe the price is too. Well, let's build them a new school or do something about it. Badger Rock is gonna be in, I don't know, elementary school, I think.
They're adding it, yeah, in elementary school.
Exactly. How come the other older schools can't get an update or do something about it? Those are my 3 main concerns as a parent. Like I said, I have a freshman here, fights. I have a first grader who's going to an older elementary school. I have a long ways to go. I have a long ways to see. And that's where I'm debating. Should I still stay at this district or go to a more richer district? I really don't want to do that. But that's all you guys are giving me. You know, those are my 2 things to decide on. Please, give them their money. Because I, as a mom, would appreciate it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Please do listen to us, please.
Ronita Alexander was the lady that I asked to register, but she went to clean, so I just wanted to acknowledge that she did register. Sylvia Gomez.
She asked that you move to the next speaker, and she just had to go down.
Got it. Okay. I am going to try my best. Narashida
Jose.
Fernandez.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Nayetza Fernández. My name is Nayetza Fernández.
Thank you.
Soy madre de una estudiante, es mi primer año por mi parte de escuela. I'm a mother of a student, first year here. Estoy aquí porque a mí me interesa mucho la seguridad de la escuela. I'm here because I'm interested in security and safety in school. Por lo que estoy enterada, ha habido muchas peleas de estudiantes. What I've learned is that there's been a lot of fights among students. Lo que yo quisiera, si se pudiera hacer una aplicación o para pedir a la policía que esté como aquí, como me estoy enterada que antes había policía como, como atención aquí a la escuela. So what I'm asking if there's any way that there could be like an application or something for the police to be here present at the school. I understand that previously there was police presence here at the school or some kind of something similar to that. Yo creo que sería una forma más segura para nuestros hijos porque la verdad yo sí estoy preocupada por la seguridad de los alumnos. Yo creo que todos nosotros de padres de familia tenemos este problema o esa angustia de que nuestros hijos vengan a la escuela y no haya seguridad. I am concerned as a parent for the safety of the students. I think a lot of the parents here, a lot of the parents here are concerned about that. They just fear that there isn't safety at the school. Me gustaría que nos escucharan para ver esto sobre la policía que estuviera como de planta. Para que nuestros hijos estén más seguros y que hubiera una forma más de seguridad aquí en la escuela. I would like for you guys to listen to us so that maybe the police could here more permanently at the schools. So if there could be at the schools. También me gustaría que hubiera más maestros, porque sé que están cortos de personal. Y pienso que los maestros también están lidiando con eso y me imagino que hasta ellos están preocupados por todo el problema que hay en la escuela. And I would like also for more teachers to be present, so for the school to have more teachers at the school because I'm sure they're the ones who are also dealing with those issues and I'm sure they're also concerned about the safety of their kids. Me gustaría que sí pusieran algo de su parte ustedes para que esta escuela, en lugar de irse hacia abajo, sea mejor cada día para nuestros estudiantes acá, que vienen todos los días a lidiar o no sé, tener problemas o no sé qué es lo que está pasando, cuál es la seguridad en esta escuela. I would also like for you guys to see something done on your behalf, to put some effort on your behalf, so you don't see the school kind of going down to make the school better because so then that way the students don't have to come here and every time dealing with fights, dealing with the situations that are going on in the school. Y quisiera también que que ambos, o sea, ustedes como nosotros, apoyemos a nuestros hijos a venir a la escuela y que tenga uno esa seguridad de que nuestros hijos están bien aquí en la escuela. And I also would like for us to work together, so to offer our students safety, so when they come here, they feel safe. Hemos visto que en varias escuelas ha habido mucho tiroteo. No sé cuáles son las consecuencias de eso, pero no hay seguridad. I also know that there's been different shootings at different schools, and I don't know what the consequences of that are, but I noticed that there's no security. Por eso yo quisiera que todos nosotros los padres de familia pidiéramos que hubiera como antes policía fuera de la escuela o como estaba antes para que hubiera más respeto por los alumnos y se detuvieran a hacer lo que hacen. And I would like for us as parents to kind of unite and for police presence to be here at the school, either like outside or how it was before. So que apoyaran a los maestros, porque sé que para ellos es mucho problema lidiar con los estudiantes, tanto dando clases como afuera, que empiezan a haber problemas, que ellos no saben qué hacer, cómo actuar. De hecho, hasta la seguridad.
And I would also like for you guys to support teachers, because not only are they responsible for teaching, but they're also having to deal with these issues of fighting in school, or sorry, fighting among students, and doing things that really don't, it's not their responsibility or
Por eso quisiera que ustedes mismos se pusieran en nuestro lugar de padres de familia para que nos apoyaran con eso de la seguridad en la escuela y esta escuela fuera mejor cada día.
And I would like for you guys to kind of put yourselves in our shoes as parents, as family, as parents of students, to see the importance of security in the school, to make the school better for our children.
Eso es todo. Muchas gracias. Espero que nos entiendan y nos ayuden con eso, por favor.
I hope that you guys understand and that you help us with that.
Gracias.
I will say that in the past year, we have been, we did a safety wellness ad hoc, in which we will be presenting. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just saying that, we created a safety wellness ad hoc, that was to look at safety wellness within our schools. Yeah, and so what we did was we sent out a survey to families, teachers, students, in the whole community, in which we did receive overwhelming responses.
Enviamos una encuesta a los padres de familia, a maestros, a estudiantes, para tener un poco sus opiniones, y recibimos la respuesta.
And we've compiled all those recommendations from the community and we'll present it to the board in March 6th operations work group. 13th, sorry.
March 13th.
March 13th.
You're going to present to the board. Okay.
So I just wanted to get that. The next speaker is Sylvia Gomez. We are at 6:29 and we have Sylvia and then we have one other speaker and then that will be all the speakers, so bear with us.
And we can go over to our meeting. It's all on.
When you do this,
Okay, so as EPRS, I work with over 200 families, giving support, resources, doing many things, as well as advisor to our Latino students and MENA students, and coordinator for a monthly Latino parent group. So como especialista de recursos bilingües, yo trabajo con más de 200 familias, dándoles apoyos, recursos, haciendo muchas cosas, tanto como ser asesora para el grupo de estudiantes Raza United y el estudiante MENA, y también coordinando las juntas mensuales de padres latinos. Some things are not part of my job description, but I do it because it's needed in our Latino community. Algunas de estas cosas no es parte de mi trabajo, pero los hago porque hace falta en nuestra comunidad latina. I help families navigate the resources, tapping into our bilingual counselor and bilingual social worker. Ayudo a las familias a navegar con estos recursos, hablando con nuestros consejera bilingüe y trabajadora social bilingüe. I, as well as these two other individuals, are extremely overwhelmed with the support we give to our community. Yo, tanto como estos otros individuos, estamos extremadamente abrumados con el apoyo que estamos dando a nuestra comunidad. I don't want to speak for others, but I know for a fact, given the fact that we have been getting new families on a consistent manner from different countries such as Nicaragua, Honduras, or Mexico, and due to delicate situations, mental health issues, housing, learning about new life and rules in a new country, and then just to interpret for the over 200 families is too much for just one of them. Okay, y no quiero hablar pero el hecho de que hemos recibido muchísimas familias de Nicaragua, Honduras, o México, y debido a sus situaciones delicadas, situaciones de salud mental, de viviendas, aprendiendo una nueva vida, las reglas de un nuevo país, y también nomás interpretar para más de 200 familias es demasiado para solamente uno de nosotros. Why is there a formula that doesn't work, that does not really take into consideration the needs of family to decide the allocation of PRS? Que no trabajan y que no toma en consideración las necesidades de familias para tomar, para ver cuántos PRS hay en una escuela. Also, the lack of bilingual teachers. Sorry, I ran out of time. Also, the lack of bilingual teachers in our ESL department is a problem with all the families that we are getting, the students that we are having. We have had a huge amount of students this year. Last year, we had about maybe 14, 15 students per classroom. Now we have 28 students per classroom in an ESL classroom, in sheltered ESL classroom. Please tell me what the numbers are. Please don't tell me it's 30. I think it's different, right? Just like in special ed, right? Okay, it's a lot. And it's because of the different levels of languages that our students are not learning how they should. They're not learning, okay? It's taking a lot more time. Our students are frustrated. You have other students who are going fast, who are learning faster, others who are slower. Some students are coming here with no any kind of academic, no any kind of written language knowledge or anything like that, and to throw them into a classroom and make sure that they follow all these standards of everybody else is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So estoy hablando de sus hijos que apenas recién llegaron, que a veces, están viniendo aquí con diferentes niveles de aprendizaje. Algunos saben escribir, algunos saben matemáticas, pero a veces, muchas veces, bueno, todo el tiempo los meten en un salón donde tienen que, según, aprender en un cierto nivel, y algunos se frustran porque unos aprenden más rápido, otros no aprenden tanto, y es muy frustrante. And it's not only frustrating for the students, definitely frustrating for the teacher, okay? And it's very frustrating also bringing different languages, different kids from different places into one place and not teaching them the basics of living in a new country, the language, just how to act, how to be, how is this new life, and it's very, very crazy. Right now, literally, and the fact that it's only one PRS at East High School versus the other ones, I'm not going to speak on behalf of everybody else. I'm overwhelmed. I am overstretched. I do as much as I can because this is what the families need, right?
Awesome at it.
Just suffering in these classes. Sometimes they don't want to even be there because it's just so overwhelming for them to learn in an environment where they're forced to go at a certain pace when they're still trying to, one, speak English. So I hope that I know this whole allocation, sorry, excuse my language, whatever is bullshit, okay? This whole, how y'all are doing the ESL, PRS allocation stuff, it does not work, and I'm overwhelmed, and we need more people, and, I know I'm doing stuff I shouldn't be, but if I don't, who will? Who will? So, I think that's all. And then thank you for my familias that are here. I mean, they really, really talk to me a lot about stuff. And it's just like,
I have to say thank you to you. Not only the teachers. I have to give paid on Sylvia. All the job, all the effort that she made to like have all the Hispanic families together. The emails, text messages, calls, she's dealing not only with her job, with some other like extra stuff that she's not supposed to, but she's only one. And same with the teachers. I mean, I came from Puerto Rico, sorry, just a quick minute. I came from Puerto Rico, looking for a better future for my kids. And we actually came back from Puerto Rico. We were off for, what, 2 weeks? The situation is really bad in Puerto Rico. I know the economic situation is getting worse, but right now, even in here, in this school, we were having this, conversation with my kids already, where we are getting to the limit. But we actually have another, option where you can actually finish your, like, high school, so you don't have to deal with this. I told that to my son, he don't feel safe. And she knows they're good kids. But because everything started at home, there's stuff that they are not gonna be able to teach them because they have to do so much besides their job, so much time, so many hours, but at the same time, it's like, as a mom, what else I can do? That's why we're here. And hopefully you can just pay attention on everything that we are asking for. Thank you.
Next speaker is April Stockton. Just please.
I'll try to do that.
Oh, do you want to respond back to the meeting? I can see if others would like to respond.
I would.
So the thing is, I'm not asking if other folks would like to respond. I'm asking if they would like to respond. I'm sorry.
Parents, teachers, you wanna know, because I wanna say something. Her, to let her know that my students cannot come to school. Because the ninth grade office, I don't know what's going on, it's not answering. I have to let her know that my student is leaving early. Because the ninth grade office is not answering. So I really, as a parent, I really wanna know, what's the formula?
So the formula that Sylvia is referring to, would it be the formula about the person who is at the front desk
Okay, but
for the ninth
she's
grade?
the only ESL teacher here that I know of. She's the only one that I can communicate to that I know of. Can she get help?
So as far as go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, so I want to acknowledge that I've heard several times tonight that however the formula is being created, it seems flawed. Now, I'm hearing that loud and clear, okay? I want to also say, and this is not like making an excuse, at the board level, we don't create the workbooks that go out to schools, but we can ask better questions. So the fact that you are talking about your actual day-to-day experiences gives us a different view in that we may not get in a board meeting. So I hear you loud and clear. I hear you loud and clear. And when you actually are here sharing what you're sharing, it helps me as a board member now be able to ask better questions or to like pay attention in a different way. So I know the workbooks are already out. I don't know what system might be used to adjust anything. But you know, I certainly have a list of things that I'm gonna go back and ask more about. And that's the best I can give you tonight. I wish I could give you a different answer, but I can't.
Please let me have faith in you, because let me tell you, I don't have trust in politicians. I don't have trust in presidents. And right now, this sounds like a politician meeting where you guys aren't giving us response. So please give us our response. I know it's going to take its time. I know that. But let me see some good in the next year, or maybe earlier. Let me see some changes. Because I, as a parent, do attend the Latino meetings. I do attend the East High School meetings.
I go to my little one's school meeting. And that's why I made sure I came here to listen to you guys and to get questions answered. So please, like I said, let me have at least a little faith in this board right here.
I just didn't,
Okay.
I hear you.
So, I will say that when I asked, I kind of looked to see if people had questions, so I apologize if we didn't respond. Or if you wanted to respond, just because I looked to see if you wanted to respond to that, no one gave a, so I apologize in that regard. I mean, and as far as you can see, I'm also a parent. I have 3 middle schoolers. And so I hear you and I understand, and they all go to MMSD. I was also an MMSD student, just like you. And so, just know that even though we are elected officials, we are still very much living within Madison, paying taxes. We are just as much, some of us have kids in MMSD, or a majority of us have went to MMSD. And so, again, and I'm not trying to say like, not give value to what you're saying and, the trust between politicians and such. I'm just giving you another context to look at us as also people who are with this with you. And so I appreciate it. Right.
So that's
Right.
what I say, I trust that you
Absolutely.
guys are gonna get a little bit more than just give us if and bit and maybe. And just have you guys do something.
Right. And that's why I'm glad Michelle did mention that there are certain things that we as a board can control, but that we can also ask better questions and inquire in different ways based off of the insight that you all have here.
Yeah, I don't want to give you the expectation or any unrealistic expectations. I'll be blunt with you. We start this year with an $8 million budget gap. We get a budget formula, another formula from the state government in which we have to be in compliance with. If we are not in compliance with the state government takes over our district, which would be even worse. And so we are also working under a set of guidelines, federal and state guidelines that we have to be in compliance with. And so I don't want to be here and tell you that we're going to walk on water.
And I know that. Believe me, I know that. But as we're here, we need help. You guys came and told us what parents, teachers, what can we do to help you guys, go talk to the governor. That's what you guys want us to do. Hey, I bet you that they're gonna do that. Make a program. Hey, I bet you all of us. Because like I said, I grew up at a time like this. Like you guys said that too. And it is getting tiring to see the fights, class teachers, building, they're old. So Perry's getting got a new school building. How come Madison can't get more new school buildings? The richer people are getting more better. So what? Poor stay poor, the rich go. So, we are parents. We helping you guys need help.
I appreciate, and I don't want to cut you off and seem very insensitive. So, but I will need to stop you. We are at 6:45. We still have 2 more speakers. Chris would like to also comment. And so Chris, can go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to recognize that just like we recognize the shortage of custodians that we have across the district and at this high school, we recognize the shortage of bilingual teachers and bilingual specialists that we also have and are putting strategies in place to try to fix that and address that. So I just wanted to add that to what everybody else is, that we do recognize it and we know that it is.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks.
The next speaker is April Sopkin.
Hi. I'm very nervous. I just said it right off. But I'm an East High School art teacher. I'm here with my 2 colleagues, Young Kim and Sarah Rosalie. Young Kim is our ceramic teacher, and Sarah Rosalie our art medals. I teach drawing, painting, and photography here, or I have for 4 years. And we were just told, I just kind of want everyone to know, because I feel like students are here. I don't think people know, we were just told that the art department is being cut for next year to 2.8. So we're 3 full-time people right now. We have always been They're not telling us which one is being cut to 80%, but one of us is, and that's really pleasant too. Like, okay, here's one of us getting cut. And everyone knows we are really short teachers, as it is, especially special teachers or whatever they call us, encore, right? There aren't enough electives as it is. We can't seem to keep an auto teacher here. We can't seem to have enough places for students. I have a lot of students who have unscheduled periods. I think they're wandering the halls and I'm like, why aren't you in class? And it's like, they'll study nothing. They're just walking around the halls. This is real. Teacher reported real. Units are being cut another, it looks like, 0.2. So they're already at 2.8 and they were just told they're being cut to 2.6 for next year. We just compiled our own numbers of requests for art in terms of the art department of Young Kim. And I can tell you that we could have next year 10 classes of 25.9 ceramics for next year. Sort of student requests, 6 classes of 34.8 of painting. Right now I have 2 sections of painting. One is at 38 and the other one is at 34. And I have 1 teacher in that room and I've been told by guidance and everyone that the cap is the same as PE now, 40. So I said, okay, well then put me in the gym because you should see my classroom. That day. And so I'm running around trying to get everybody started in painting, and I have 38 students for my 4th hour, 34 in my 3rd hour. And I love my job, right? We love our job. I love being a teacher, but I can say this is a new world we're in, for sure. And I don't know what the answer is, and I know money is tight in the district. So, but we all know that something's wrong, right? And I don't know if anybody wants this, but it's an amazing thing. You're gonna get. Yeah, these are students. Well, then it's for, total for most semesters. So, yeah. But it's real, and I do feel like people need to know, students need to know, parents need to know. People, you're not told. By the way, our art department is
And the requests are there. The requests are we should have at least another art teacher. Like the other high schools. Why are we at 3? Why are the other high schools at 4, 5, 6, 8?
There is.
Last but not least, I'll just say, we're also in our department that does not have a computer lab. But I want to say that Memorial has had a computer lab in their art department for 15 years. And pushing the district, they wanted a math lab. They're like, you have a PC lab, but what's this math lab? How come we don't get a math lab? I'm sorry. I feel like when students leave here, they should have state-of-the-art equipment. They should be able to compete in today's market. If you walk out and become a graphic artist, you're going to walk into a math lab. You're not going to have it. And I feel very strongly about that. I've been raising money. I got a $10,000 donation a month ago for our photography department for computer labs. But we've been fighting that fight for 2 years. And we get turned down by who? TJ McCrae. I'm sorry, I'll say his name. It's just like, oh, we don't get one here. And I'm talking about equity in the district. So East and La Follette do not have computer labs. How do I know? I used to teach at La Follette. My kids went to West. I walked into that computer lab. I know what it looks like. I student taught at Memorial, and I know they have 2 computer labs, not 1, but 2. And they've had them for 15 years. So what is going, I feel like at the district level, there is not equity in the district. And I'm sorry, I just have to say that. It's not us.
security piece, because it's exactly like April said, there are kids that don't have the classes they want, or they don't have classes.
Yeah.
And what are we doing if we're not actually offering kids classes? Yes, it is.
April, thank you.
Thanks for listening, and I know this is like a lot.
And then Alejandro.
Nada más párate aquí, si quiere. We're just gonna come from, speak from the back.
Be loud, no?
Todos,
Before anything, and good evening to everybody.
soy padre de un alumno de esta institución.
I'm the father of one student here at this school.
Parece que tenemos varios asuntos que aclarar en la institución.
I think there are different issues that need to be addressed here at the school.
Yo siento que ustedes no son los responsables, solamente nos están escuchando.
I understand you guys are not responsible ones. I know that you're just here listening.
Pero yo creo que ustedes tienen un sistema para poder llegar a un acuerdo y juntar al personal necesario para que esta institución obtenga un nivel bueno para todos los estudiantes.
But I think you have the power, you have the ability to gather enough staff to have enough teachers at the school.
Lo importante que quiero que sepan que ustedes no están solos. Nosotros los padres estamos con ustedes y queremos una mejor función para la institución.
I just want you to know that you're not alone. We as parents, we're here with you. We're here to support you, and we just want something better for this school.
En segundo término, tenemos que hablar algo realmente serio de lo que está pasando. Lo han dicho.
And there's the second issue that we really have to talk seriously, and it's been addressed.
Es la agresividad que se está presentando en nuestras escuelas.
The aggressiveness, the violence that is happening here at the schools.
Yo creo que eso no pasaba en nuestras generaciones de nosotros.
I don't think that happened, that was going on in our generation.
Los maestros necesitan respeto.
Teachers need to be respected.
Hay que apoyar a los maestros. Los maestros son los que nos están ayudando a nuestros jóvenes a llegar a un nivel superior.
We need to support our teachers because it's the teachers who are supporting our students to reach a superior level, to get ahead.
No vengo a decirles qué sistema deben implementar para los estudiantes. Creo que ustedes tienen un sistema, pero creo que necesita ser más eficaz.
I'm not here to tell you what system needs to be implemented by students. I know you guys have your own system, but I do feel that it needs to be a little bit more efficient.
Yo tengo un estudiante aquí que gracias a él y a todos ustedes los profesores le va bien.
I have one student here, thanks to his efforts and the support he has received from the teachers here, he's doing well.
Pero esto no es una guardería, es una institución superior que los alumnos están preparando para subir a un nivel más superior.
But this is not a daycare. This is a school where you guys are supposed to be preparing students so they can achieve or they can advance and reach higher level.
Lamentablemente se fue la señora de educación especial. Yo también tengo un niño pequeño de educación especial.
Oh, unfortunately, the lady who was talking about special education left, but I also have a student who's a special education student.
Lo que es la vida. Tengo un niño que le va genial y un niño que necesita educación especial.
The ironies of life, I have an older son who's doing really, really well and a younger son who has special needs.
Pero agradezco infinitamente a todos los profesores de educación especial que nos han brindado el apoyo.
But I'm eternally grateful to all the special education teachers who have supported our students.
Entonces la idea aquí es general que ustedes no se sientan solos, que cuenten con nosotros los padres, ya lo dijeron los compañeros.
And so the idea here is that so you guys don't feel that you're all alone in this, that you please count on the support of us, the parents, as other parents have mentioned here.
Para poder llegar a un buen funcionamiento de la escuela y tanto los maestros como los alumnos tengan un buen desarrollo.
To reach a point where the school functions well so that the teachers and the students have a good development.
Gracias por venir a todos y gracias por escucharme.
Thank you all for coming and thank you for listening.
We have concluded with all of the speakers tonight. I will say thank you all for joining us. This is the first of 4 series that we will have at each high school. And so again, thank you all for coming to speak. and give us your voice, your authentic self, your true self. We don't always get to hear it as much, and then also be able to respond to you in ways that are clear and, are clear and direct. So thank you again. We're done.
Oh.
Okay, with I motion to adjourn the show. Chris second, all in favor? 4-0.